no one's gonna help me on the farms anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So where are your kids? And he actually said, I don't want my kids working this. I worked hard so that they could work in hospitality.
Yeah. On how they can best move forward with their on how to manage the land that belongs to them, and not choosing a fast way of just sell it and have money and then the money is gone.
Welcome to Bali Breakfast Talks, a series of meaningful discussions with insightful people from here in Bali, sharing about art, culture, social and environmental issues. This is a collaboration between Hotel Indigo Bali, the Rockin Life Bali and Now Bali, filmed here on Seminyak beach to bring you the most interesting and important stories on the island. Hey, welcome to another episode of Bali Breakfast Talks. Our guest today is Kania Maniasa, Executive Director of Green School Foundation, a non-profit organization created to bring sustainability-focused education to children in Bali. The foundation began in 2008, providing scholarships to the renowned Green School Bali. Since then, over 70 Balinese students have been given access to progressive, environment-centric education at the now world-famous Bamboo campus. Today, Green School Foundation's scope extends to working with local public schools to create environmental sustainability projects, including training local teachers, to funding scholarships to agricultural universities with the goal of attracting a younger demographic to work in the agricultural industry. Kania.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi, and welcome to Bali Breakfast Talks.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you here to share about Green School Foundation and also some insights into Bali's agricultural industry and all the communities sort of as part of that industry as well.
Yeah.
So I think let's start off with, from your experience at Green School Foundation, what are the current most pressing issues pertaining to Bali's agricultural industry and the farming communities?
Well, Indonesia is known to be one of the biggest agricultural nations, yet 20% of the youth choose agriculture as their, career path. And if you look around, if we drive around now anywhere in Indonesia, especially in Bali, you would mostly see older farmers, probably 60 and above. And what's also interesting is that 74% of farmers say that their farming is their main job, yet only less than 50% of their children are involved in farming at all. And you can imagine in the past, in a few decades ago, that would have been different. Like if you are a child of a farmer, you automatically become one and you continue the family legacy of farming. And so things have changed a lot in recent years.
So what we're talking about here is that there's no one to take the jobs that are required to provide food security for the island.
Yes.
Right? So it's an aging population of farmers at the moment.
Yeah, and it's not just Indonesia going through this. It's a worldwide phenomena that there's not enough young people wanting to become farmers and continuing that work. And so, yes, it is a threat in food production, and it is something that we're going to start seeing in a few years when it's getting harder to find access to real healthy food. I think we know that that's already a challenge now, right?
Yeah.
Finding organic and great food, real food.
Real whole foods.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I think what we have to address is why that's happening first. What is it about the agricultural industry that's not attracting younger people?
I think it's a lot of things. It's the fact that it's not as sexy, being a farmer, and that we have a perception, and it's not just them, young people, and all of us have a perception that farming is just hard labor, being out there, in the sun, and very little income. And unfortunately, that is true in some cases. But there are already out there in the world technology that supports farming, and ways that you can innovate as a farmer. You can have your own business. I mean, for example, we produce some of the greatest cocoa beans out here in Indonesia, but yet it's being exported out, and it's being made into quality chocolate out there, not in Indonesia, and then it's being sold here for very expensive. So I think the business side of things, our future generation don't have access to and knowledge of, which could then help them decide that there is a potential career option here in agriculture.
So it's not really seeing. So there's a few layers here
Yes.
you're mentioning. First one is the perception that
Yes.
it's sort of like a traditional industry, and
Mm-hmm.
new generations don't really want to associate
Mm-hmm.
with that bracket. Sort of, it may appear backwards in that sense of like not a modern industry.
Yes.
That's so there's perception, and then there's also value for money.
Yes.
So labor to income ratio is basically
Exactly.
completely off, right?
Exactly.
And the third one you're saying is just a lack of understanding of how to capitalize
Mm-hmm.
on farming as an effective business industry.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. And I think the situation of the climate now and the unpredictability. I mean, we know that we don't know usually by October or September, rain season starts. I mean, glad it's not raining today, but the unpredictability of the weather, and that also impacts the crops, right?
Yeah.
So it tends to be more dry throughout the year and less rain, and that also makes it hard for farmers to come up with their produce on time. So that also impacts the situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's that sort of fear of working in agriculture in
Mhm.
Bali. There's that less security than say, let's say,
Yes.
work in hospitality, right? It's like,
Right.
if I work in hospitality,
Right.
I'll get my paycheck,
Right.
right? The conditions are set. It's
Yes.
like corporate, or the office is obvious what I'm going to get out
Lots
of
of
it.
options.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But farming, there's so many things that are unpredictable,
Mhm.
essentially.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
I was in Nusa Lembongan,
Mhm.
and I know it's sort of a fringe aspect of farming, but it was interesting to see the seaweed farmers in Nusa Lembongan.
Yes.
And the father, who was farming himself, I went to
Yes.
speak to him, and he said, no one's gonna help me on the farms anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So where are your kids? And he actually said, I don't want my kids working this. I worked hard so that they could work in hospitality.
Or they can be a doctor, or they can do something
Yeah,
else,
exactly.
and nothing farming.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
like go get an office job essentially, or whatever
Yes.
that is. Work in a bank,
Yeah.
or go to Jakarta.
Yeah.
They work so that they can get
Yeah.
educated and move up.
Yeah.
But the reality is, we still need somebody
Yeah.
to be out there on the farms
Right.
and creating food security for the
Yes.
island.
Yes. Yeah. That's true, and that is a common thing also, that most farmer parents don't want their kids to continue and become farmers, because they know how hard it was for them, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Going back to perceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So, part of your goal, I imagine,
Mm-hmm.
is make farming sexy again,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yes, exactly. Should be a campaign, though.
Yeah, make farming sexy again.
Should be our
I
next
like that,
campaign. Yeah.
How do you do that? I mean, how do you do that for young people?
Our program at Green School Foundation is we provide agricultural university scholarships. What that means is we are providing four-year university scholarships for specifically children of farmers. So this is only for children of farmers in Indonesia who have some kind of land that they one day can work on after they graduate and make use of. And this also tackles that issue of us now, there not being enough land anymore.
True,
And then
yeah.
everything is all the land is turning into villas, turning into hotels and everything else. And I think Bali and Indonesia, we don't need more of that. We need the future generation to feel equipped, that they can feel confident to do something more impactful with their land for the community. And how we do that is through providing as many young people the opportunity for a 4-year education, a higher education, that not only they learn innovation and innovative solutions to farming, but they also learn things like marketing and English learning, and they have personal development and leadership skills, that they come home and they have this um, new way of looking at farming and new way of becoming an entrepreneur.
Yeah, so they're changing how agriculture is viewed for them, in the sense that
Yes.
it's not just a farming job out in the fields.
Right.
It's a business that you're running, and you
Right.
can create a higher value for
Yes.
your community or for yourself.
Yes.
I think there was coffee is a really good example. There's quite a few
Mhm.
examples in Bali where people have gone back and created single origin coffee,
Yeah.
and actually created value for their own communities by not just selling beans, but
Mhm.
actually packaging and processing and selling the final product.
Mhm.
And just, I guess, the value between the raw material and the sellable product
Yes.
is life changing in
Mhm.
a sense, right? It takes them out of that cycle of
Yes.
being a pure farmer.
Right, right. And that's what we want our students and our scholars to have, the mindset of that open-mindedness, and they are all open-minded. I mean, young people nowadays, they're so smart, intelligent, and wise and woke, I said, woke, to doing things a different way. And I think the young generation is really ready to be taught these new ways and to be prepared on how they can best move forward with their on how to manage the land that belongs to them, and not choosing a fast way of just sell it and have money and then the money is gone. That's the trend that we've been seeing over the
Yeah.
past years, and we are not blaming anybody here, but that's just the reality we're in, that everyone, the economy is in this at its state, and the scholarship doesn't only just want to provide the 4-year tuition, but we want to connect with the Green School Foundation and our partners, and the platform that we have. We also want to connect our scholars to future collaborators, hotels, restaurants. We have that ability to connect them and create a community for them.
And I guess with the green schools, before they go into university, the Green School Foundation also provides education at Green School Bali itself, right? For Balinese community. What are some of the unique perspectives that an education at Green School Bali provides, and how do you think that changes their perception of their own island?
I think, education has the power to really change a person's life. And if you're getting an education that is holistic, that's focused on who you are as an individual, but that also teaches you to respect nature and to provide service to nature, it will change the way you look at it. It will change the lens. And that's also something that we see in our scholars at our program at Green School Foundation, is that they're not Green School kids, but they know the mission of the Green School, and they know the mission of the Green School Foundation, and they're completely in this different way of looking at the future.
What was the reason of starting this focus on the agricultural scholarship? Was there a fear from the Green School Foundation, so you felt like you should take initiative, sort of take matters into your own hands, to say, no one's fixing the situation for tomorrow's farming community, we need to do it ourselves?
I think there's so many organizations already doing incredible work in agriculture and supporting directly in the field the current farmers, getting them as much revenue, as much support as possible to do what they're doing, farming. But we think, what about the future? what about tomorrow? Who's going to be doing this tomorrow? And how do we do that is by reaching out to the students. And then of course, back again, education. It has the power to really empower the future generation, and that's what we felt like we can do. That's just what we do. Green School and Green School Foundation, we believe in education so much, and that is how we're going to make an impact or try to encourage the young people.
Change a mindset,
Change the
change
mindset.
a
Yes,
perception as well.
yes, exactly.
Okay, so we have talked about changing the mindset or the perception of agriculture,
Hmm.
but you're also introducing new methods of agriculture uh, into the farming communities, or you're introducing more environmentally friendly methods,
Mhm.
which are actually against what is done across Bali
Oh,
at the
yeah.
moment, right? So can you share what's happening, what's the farming methods now that Bali employs, and what are you teaching differently
Mhm.
through Green School?
I really the Green School Foundation, we focus, instead of focusing so much on changing the methods of farming, we stick with education,
Mhm.
which is we are partnered with universities in Bali that they will teach their students, the best way to farm, and that's the most environmental friendly way. We as the scholarship provider, really encourage our students to farm organically.
Mhm.
But there's instances when we do meet their interview their parents, because sometimes as part of the admissions process, we interview the student and the family. So we go and visit their farm. And I have to tell you about one of our students whose dad is one of a farmer in Ubud Gianyar area, and he's the only farmer farming rice in an organic way.
Mm.
So he's a bit going against what the others are doing, because it's slower and it's not as fast, and there's no support for him to grow the rice. And uh, he stick to that mindset that we have to do this the right way. We have to do this the way that my ancestors have done it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that's very rare. So it's very rare to find an older farmer who is willing to go that route. And that is a challenge. But I think with the young farmers that we know, they're more aware, they're more educated, and they're aware of all the options. And I think that's enough of a change for us to say we really believe in them to do farming in a way that's sustainable for the land and the planet.
So obviously a lot of Bali has been using sort of green revolution rice,
Hmm.
which is faster yielding,
Mhm.
but less healthy for us
Yes.
and less healthy for the land itself.
Yes.
And I suppose previous farming communities have focused on yield and money and getting an income, but new generations are seeing that they actually prefer a new method which doesn't harm the environment. So they're actually putting more value on
Mhm.
their impacts
Mhm.
compared to previous generations.
Hmm. Yes, exactly. And also that idea of land regeneration, wanting to make sure that not more of Bali is taken, not more of the land is going to turn into more construction sites. And for us, we really want our scholars to come back and do something with their land, and eventually recruit all their friends to become farmers too, as part of their business, as part of their farming business. Some of our scholars who just graduated are already partnered with big hotels in Bali, supplying healthy organic vegetables and fruits from Badugol.
Amazing.
So that's exactly what we want.
Yeah, it's such an interesting relationship because, I mean, let's say the hospitality industry obviously is huge for the island,
Yes.
and it's an inviting career choice for many in the island. But that inviting career choice is drawing people away from traditional farming communities. But also the tourism industry really needs the agricultural industry. So there is this sort of doubling down of uh, this requirement of making sure that there's the next generation.
Yes.
Because all of these hotels and restaurants and the hospitality industry, they need locally sourced goods and
Yes.
increasingly good quality.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. And you know what I'm happy to see, Eddie, is that more and more jobs like agricultural manager or farming expert or sustainability manager start to pop up in different hotels. I mean, hotels that really value sustainability and regeneration as part of their vision, they start to have these roles, which is really interesting because then you're connecting tourism and agriculture, which should have been that way. But it's really nice to see that more and more jobs that's a little bit more prestigious are out there for our future generations. So
Yeah, I mean, I think this growth of sustainability is merging different industries closer together,
yes,
and like you said, they're creating a really prestigious role for people who care about the environment.
yes,
Right? It just changes the how we perceive what we, let's say 10 years ago, like, oh,
Yes.
this person's a hippie. Right?
Yes.
Now it's like, oh, that person's a sustainability manager. Right?
yes, yes. And I've spoken to a friend who works in an HR at a hotel, and she was telling me it's very hard to find agricultural or environmental graduates, young graduates nowadays in Bali in particularly. The rest of Indonesia, there's a lot more options, but in Bali, it's harder to find. And I said, well, wait a few more years
Yeah.
because we're graduating some, and our goal is to graduate as many as we can, of course.
So what universities are you working with?
Currently working with University of Udayana and Warmadewa as well here in Bali,
Here in Bali.
that we have an agreement and collaboration with. But our dream is to send Balinese students overseas, not overseas, in other parts of Indonesia, because there's other incredible universities in all over Indonesia, and it would be great for them to also come out of Bali and to learn something outside
Yeah.
Bali. And that's a very rare thing too. It's very rare for a Balinese student to go abroad
Yeah.
or to go outside of Bali even. And so it gives them a bit more a different dynamic when a child has been outside of their home village, right?
Why don't they leave the island?
I think it's, the society and the community that we have is very close and connected together, and we get really comfortable in that. And I mean, I don't ever leave Bali, because it's Bali, but I think for educational purposes, it would be great to give more opportunities to Balinese students to study elsewhere in Indonesia.
I mean, I know a huge cross culture that happens in universities in art. Right?
Yes.
I would say a lot of Balinese artists will go to Jogja.
Oh yeah.
And everyone always says
Yes,
that there's
yes.
a big perception change when they go
Yes.
to Jogja.
Yes.
Like they're looking back at their own culture rather than being in
Yeah.
it. They're looking back from the outside.
Yeah.
Get a chance to sort of analyze objectively, like, oh,
Yes.
where are we? We're so different from here, and I can see it from the outside.
Mhm.
It'd be interesting to see in other fields.
Yes.
How does
Yes.
that play out in agriculture?
Yeah. I think so. And I think once you get a chance to do that, when you're seeing something out of a different lens or a different frame, you come up with these new thinking, and that's exactly, I think, something that we need a bit more of in our community.
Talking about this cross-culture exchange
Yeah.
aspect, I mean, I think, let's say someone who lives in East Bali, in Sidaman, that view is maybe just like, that's my everyday. They're like, why are tourists coming here?
Right.
And tourists are like, this is the most gorgeous
Yeah.
place on earth. But for them, it's like, oh, it's just my backyard.
Mhm.
Right? And it's that it sometimes requires somebody else to tell you, like, this is amazing what you have.
Yes.
A good example would be, let's say, subak,
Yes.
right? And again, that's ingrained into the everyday.
Mhm.
Maybe that subak system that we have for the rice fields,
Yes.
we just in Bali, like, yeah, that's wow, that's how we do things. It's not special.
Yeah.
But people come here to study it, and they're like, wow, this is the
Yes.
most amazing connection of culture,
Yes.
society,
Yes.
nature.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you were saying, going out or people coming in,
Mhm.
and having that shared opinion of what you have is actually special, that helps people here to be like, hey, we need to protect what we have.
Yes, exactly.
Protect what we have.
Right, and that's the mindset that we want all of us to have, not just the young generation.
Mm.
We need to start thinking about, if we love Bali so much, which we all do, that's why we're here, and we need Bali, we gotta know when to stop, and we gotta think about Bali in that way. Now we have to start being more protective of of all of it. All of us, not just, I'm talking about the local people too, all of us, and the guests coming into Bali, and the future generation.
Yeah. So outside of the scholarships, you're obviously doing scholarships for students coming into Green School and then also out to universities. But Green School Foundation is doing projects with the local schools as well.
Yes.
So you're doing things for environmental stewardship, for
Yes,
example. Can you
yes.
share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this is in collaboration with the Green School teachers and students. We are bringing sustainability project into schools starting around the Green School first in Badung, Regency, because that's where we are at. And right now we're working with 20 different schools in primary, where we would, come to the school and bring a catalog of all the possible sustainability related projects that are fun, that are hands-on, that are appropriate for the age group, and the kids and the students and the teachers at the local school get to pick what they want to do. So there's an option, for example, to create your waste station, because not every school has a waste station that has a recycling bin that's more segmented. And then there's a school that has a really nice open plot of land that could be a great permaculture garden. So then we would do that. So it's very much co-collaborations, and it's different for every school. But what's unique is that there's also a cultural exchange piece of it, because Green School students working with we're working with local students and teachers. It's really beautiful creating that project that's not only one time, but anytime we do something with a school, we ensure that whatever it is, it's maintained. So we also support the maintenance of whatever project that we have, and that so the kids after the next year can also make use of it.
And when you're going into these schools, don't know too much about the local curriculum. Do they have much about the environment as part of their curriculum?
They do have now what's called one of the P5 projects. So they have a project-based learning section in the curriculum, in the Merdeka Belajar curriculum, where schools can choose whether to do something related to culture, environment, or any other like arts. And many schools choose environment in Bali. That's what we've found out, and that's where we come in. So we help with one of these P5 projects, and that's related to environment. So it's actually a way that we can come in officially as a partner, as a school partner, because you can't just walk into a school, hey, we're an NGO, we want to do something with your kids. You can't do that on a regular basis. So we partner up with the government as well, actually, in Badung, to be able to do this. And they've been very open and helpful in allowing us to do teacher trainings with the teacher, and allowing us to access schools all around the Regency.
And the students themselves, before you come in, what is their perceptions on environmental stewardship in general?
I think I could say that there's awareness, a little bit of awareness about trash, especially waste management, um, burning trash and things like that. But it's pretty surface level. And how we go about it is that we don't want to bombard them with issues that, especially when you work with younger students, because their level of knowledge is still very surface. We start really doing things that are inspiring to them and that are more that they can relate to, so they can also, the idea is that when we do these projects with students, that they would go back home to their parents and start educating their parents. One of the reasons why I love working with young people and children is because it's not as hard to convince young people on something. When it's very hard to convince my neighbors to stop burning trash. I mean, I don't know if you have that issue, but it's happening all around island. So it's one of the ways we are trying to strategically connect to the rest of the community beyond the young people.
Yeah, I mean, we don't look at young people as being the ones telling us what to do normally, right? But they can bring things into their households.
Yeah.
Right? They can annoy their parents into
Yeah,
separating waste
exactly.
or do some composting because it's fun.
Yes. Especially in my culture, it's not common that a younger person would start telling parents. But it's been happening.
I'd actually just a little bit about your background. Were you in development yourself? Did you take development, or how did you get into this role at Green School Foundation?
My background is actually in communications
Okay.
and media criticism. But I started this work because I just love the idea of connecting with others and helping others do good. And when I first moved to Bali, moved back to Bali from America, that's where I grew up, I was thinking like, wow, my parents had to take me so far away to America to get a better education. And yet there are these students from all around the world and from Bali coming to this incredible school, learning about sustainability and nature, and it's internationally known, and it's an proper international school. So I said, wow, I felt very envious, but also felt like, wow, these kids, there's a real opportunity here to do something meaningful, because I think my education helped me a lot, and to see more of that here in Bali is really inspiring. So it's really been inspired by that concept of green school. And so um, and using my communication skills to connect everyone else. I once did this is more of a side thing, but I once did a tarot reading, and I asked about my career, and then the tarot reader said, you're only going to be happy if you become a human bridge in whatever it is that you do. So be a human bridge.
How long ago was that?
That was maybe 15 years ago. So I was like, what?
Like,
What magazine do I have to work where I can be a human bridge?
This tarot stuff is not for me. Once and only
It's
once.
not. It's becoming more of a thing now. Like,
Well,
tarot reading.
it worked for you.
It worked for me.
Not in a way that you would ever expect.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. And I relate to it now. I guess I am a human bridge in many ways in our community, and I think I hope as much of it I can use my skills to connect people to do amazing things, because it's Green School Foundation. What we believe in is also the power of collaboration. I mean, just when we did Ignite, that was proof of how collaborations from different industries can create something real and meaningful. And the power that we have here in Bali, all the people who are here, let's make use of all the knowledge and expertise to give back to the island.
Well, I think whilst we're on that point, maybe just share a little bit about Ignite. What is Ignite?
Well, you've now has been supportive of Ignite for many years. So Ignite fundraiser gala, we've started several years ago. The purpose is to do something where it's a gala and people come and support the cause that we support. But then it became, very much, it's the love we have for culture, the love we have for Bali, and all these amazing artists. I thought it could also be a platform for them to showcase these incredible performing arts talent that we have in Bali. So use that as a way to bring in people to want to see a unique performance, but also a way to give back to the community in ways you can. So we have an auction as part of the gala. It's not just a dinner where you come and pay a ticket and you sit down and you enjoy a nice dinner and performances, but there's also other ways for you to engage. And this brings in other industries like hotel industries, restaurants to come together, um, to 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 stand together. That we really want to, like you said, protect the island. And yeah, it's quite.
Yeah, I mean, it's your biggest annual fundraiser
Mhm.
event, basically, right? And it really is. I've been 3 times now, and
Mhm.
it is one of the best cultural showcases every time.
It means a lot coming
And
from you.
no, it really is.
Yes.
And for anyone interested
Mhm.
to sort of see a really well packaged cultural experience, it's the Ignite Gala every year by Green School, and
Mhm.
by going, you're also supporting the Green
Mhm.
School Foundation, right?
Yes. Yes.
And great food and
Yeah.
great venue as well. And yeah, it's highly recommended to support Bali, but also just to enjoy really fabulous experience
Yes.
and true to Bali
Yes.
as well. Really Bali forward experience, and I would say it's quite a luxurious night, but with a real taste of Bali.
Yeah.
Amazing. On that note, how else can people support Green School Foundation?
Well, people can directly support by donating towards the either of the two programs, but also sponsoring a child to go through university and being part of that student's journey. That's something that I'd like to see more, because I'd love for um, you know corporates to do that too, and individuals who are really into farming, because then you don't you only get a donor, but you get a mentor for life. And that's the connections that I want to start building more and more for our students.
How about industry in Bali? How can the industry help or work together with you?
I think providing jobs, creating internship opportunities, mentorships, and being part of Ignite. That's always a way. And we love working with corporate partners to do unique projects and ways where we can do things together, and that is tailor made, and that is going to give access to our students. I think that's we're very much open to anyone who wants to volunteer as well in our organization. We are a small team of 7 people at the moment.
Wow, wow.
Doing all the work between fundraising and doing programs.
Small team, big impact.
Yes. That's the message. And we're all octopuses who can do multiple things.
So if you want to volunteer, make sure you can multitask.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Kania, thank you to you and the Green School Foundation
Thank you.
for all that you do, not just for Bali today, but for the Bali of tomorrow. And I think that's a great message of what can we all be doing for Bali of tomorrow, not just today.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing everything with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. It's absolutely our pleasure. Again, huge thanks to Green School Foundation, and thank you for tuning into the Bali Breakfast Talks, brought to you by Hotel Indigo Bali, the Rockin Life Bali, and Now Bali. Kania, thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you guys next time.